Listen carefully, because if you give these secrets away, she'll never see you the same again. There are certain things men believe they should share with women, things they think will bring them closer, make them more relatable, or help build trust. But here's the raw truth. These confessions don't make her love you more. They make her lose respect. Attraction isn't built on words. It's built on presence, strength, and the image you project. And once you break that image with the wrong kind of honesty, you can never take it back. These 10 things I'm about to reveal to you destroy attraction faster than anything else. I've seen it happen over and over again. A man opens his mouth. He thinks he's being authentic, vulnerable, or real. And from that moment on, she never looks at him the same way again. Not because she's cruel, not because she doesn't care, but because female psychology doesn't reward weakness. It punishes it. That's why you must guard these secrets like a king guards his crown. Keep them to yourself, and you'll keep her respect. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to protect, exactly what never to confess, and why silence is more powerful than honesty. So lean in, pay attention, and let's start with the first and most dangerous one of all. Every man has them. The quiet doubts that whisper in the back of your mind, the fears that wake you up at night, the flaws you see in the mirror when no one else is looking. And the modern world has convinced men that the way to intimacy is to spill those insecurities to women, to confess them, to open up, to be vulnerable. But here's the harsh reality. Oversharing your weaknesses doesn't build respect. It kills it. You might think telling her, "I don't feel good enough," or "I'm scared of losing everything," will make her comfort you. And maybe in the moment she will. She'll hug you. She'll tell you it's okay. But deep inside, a seed has been planted. A seed of doubt. The next time life tests both of you, she won't see a rock to lean on. She'll remember the cracks you exposed. She'll see the man who confessed his fear, not the man who conquered it. And attraction dies in that shadow. Think about Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest emperors of Rome. He had insecurities, he had fears, but he wrote them in his private journal, not in front of his people. He mastered himself in silence so he could project strength to the world. That's what true men do. They don't deny their insecurities. They face them, they work on them, but they never hand them over to a woman hoping she'll carry the weight for them. Because here's the truth. She doesn't want to carry that weight. She wants to feel safe in your presence. She wants to know that no matter what, you have yourself under control. So stop using women as confession booths. Stop mistaking emotional dumping for connection. Your insecurities are yours to conquer, not hers to manage. Master them in private. Write them down. Talk to a mentor, a brother, or keep them locked in your journal if you have to. But never spill them into her ears. Because the moment you do, you shift from her rock to her burden. And once she sees you as a burden, attraction is gone. Guard your insecurities. Turn them into strength silently. That's how you keep her respect. Money is one of the fastest ways to ruin how a woman sees you. Not because she's shallow, but because of what your words reveal about your value. And too many men make the mistake of telling her everything. They proudly announce their salary, their savings, or even their debts, thinking honesty will earn trust. But here's the truth. The moment you give her exact numbers, you hand her the power to define you by them. If you tell her you make very little, she may smile and say she doesn't care, but in the back of her mind, she'll wonder if you lack ambition, if you're a man with no drive. If you tell her you make a lot, you trigger something else: expectation. Suddenly, every dinner, every trip, every gift will be measured against the wealth you revealed. You've set the bar, and now you're trapped under it. Either way, the attraction is poisoned because women aren't really judging the number. They're judging your direction. They want to feel that you're in control, that you're building, that you're disciplined. And the moment you turn your money into statistics, you strip away the mystery that makes her curious about who you are becoming. Think about kings of the past. Do you think they told everyone exactly how much gold was in their treasury? Of course not. Because when people know the exact number, they plot, they judge, they compare. A wise man lets his vision, not his figures, define him. So when she asks, "How much do you make?" don't fall into the trap of a confession. Redirect with confidence. Say, "Enough to take care of what matters, and focused on building more." That answer protects your frame. It shows control, ambition, and direction without exposing the raw details that can be twisted against you. Remember this: wealth is not the size of your paycheck. Wealth is the discipline you show in how you handle it, and the vision you carry for the future. Never forget, money is a tool, not your identity. Guard it like a king guards his crown. Reveal too much, and you cheapen your power. Keep it focused on vision, and you'll remain the man she respects. This one ruins men more than they realize. You think by telling her everything about your exes, you're being transparent. You think by sharing how badly you were hurt, how you were betrayed, or how no woman ever valued you, you're building sympathy. But the moment those words leave your mouth, she doesn't see a warrior who survived. She sees a victim who still bleeds. Women respect men who have scars, not wounds. And every time you bring up betrayal, heartbreak, or rejection, you're showing her that the past still owns you. She may hug you, she may say she understands, but deep down she's asking herself, if other women didn't value him, why should I? That's the brutal truth. Your past is not ammunition to win her loyalty. It's baggage that makes her doubt your worth. Think about Alexander the Great. He was betrayed, even by men close to him, but he didn't spend his days retelling the stories of who stabbed him in the back. He moved forward, and his power grew because he didn't drag the past into his present. That's what men with respect do. They don't hide their history, but they also don't wear it like chains. If she asks about your past, don't turn it into a therapy session. Don't confess how every woman before her failed you. Instead, keep it disciplined. Say, "I've learned what I won't settle for, and I know what I want now." That shows strength. That shows growth. That frames you as a man who conquered his history, not one still living in it. Attraction isn't built on pity. It's built on presence. And if you constantly make her see the ghosts of women who hurt you, she won't feel like your partner. She'll feel like your caretaker. And no woman stays attracted to a man she has to carry. So leave the heartbreak behind. Don't share your scars as stories of pain. Let her see them only as proof that you overcame. That's what earns her respect. That's what keeps attraction alive. This is one of the biggest traps men fall into. At some point, she's going to lean in with that curious smile and ask, "So, how many women have you been with?" And right there, you'll feel the pressure to answer. You'll think honesty is the best policy. You'll think giving her the real number will make her trust you more. But here's the brutal truth. No matter what you say, you lose. If you say it's a high number, she'll laugh on the outside, but inside she's already labeling you a player, a man who can't settle down, a man who may never be loyal. If you say it's a low number, she might smile, but she'll start questioning your experience, your desirability, even your ability to attract women. Either way, the truth will be twisted against you. That's why smart men never hand over this secret. They don't let their past define them. They let their present speak for them. Think about it. When a woman asks this question, she's not really looking for facts. She's testing your frame. She wants to see if you'll fold under pressure, if you'll break the mystery that keeps her chasing. The right move isn't to confess. The right move is to redirect with charm, with composure, with just enough intrigue to make her wonder. Say something like, "Enough to know what I want, and wise enough to know what I won't settle for." That answer gives her nothing concrete, but it keeps you in control. It shows discipline. It shows that your past doesn't own you. And more importantly, it keeps the mystery alive. Women aren't drawn to men who spill everything. They're drawn to men who make them imagine, who leave room for curiosity, because curiosity fuels attraction far more than confession ever could. Remember this: your sexual history is not a trophy to brag about, and it's not a confession to hand over. It's irrelevant to the man you are now. Let her judge you by how you treat her, not by numbers that can only work against you. Keep your past private. Let the present define you. Mystery is magnetic, and once it's gone, so is her respect. Every man has them. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of losing status, money, or love. But here's where most men destroy attraction. They speak those fears out loud to the very woman they want to admire them. And the moment you do, something shifts. She might hug you in the moment. She might say, "It's okay, I understand." But deep inside, she sees you differently. She no longer sees the rock she can lean on. She sees the cracks in your armor. And once she sees you as cracked, she never forgets it. That's why confessing fears is so dangerous. Because female psychology doesn't separate the man she loves from the man she follows. If she hears you doubt yourself, she begins to doubt you too. And once her trust in your strength is shaken, attraction starts to die. Think about Marcus Aurelius, ruling during plagues and wars. Do you think he stood before his people and said, "I'm terrified"? Of course not. He carried his fear in silence. He turned it into discipline, and he showed only courage. That's what leaders do. They don't deny fear, but they never hand it over for others to carry. A man who speaks fear into a woman's ears makes her feel unsafe. And safety is the foundation of attraction. So don't make that mistake. When fear hits you, write it down. Face it in private. Talk to a brother, a mentor, or fight through it alone if you must. But never turn to her and unload it like a burden. Because she doesn't want to carry your fear, she wants to see your courage. She wants to feel your certainty, even if behind the scenes you're still fighting the storm. Men, remember this. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is fear mastered in silence. Show her the courage. Keep the fear for yourself. Because once she believes you can face anything, that belief becomes attraction. But the moment you confess, the moment you plant doubt in her mind, you lose her respect. Carry your fear quietly. Let her see only the strength. That's how leaders keep love alive. Every man has weak spots. Maybe it's discipline with food. Maybe it's a bad habit. Maybe it's something darker that you wrestle with when no one's watching. But here's the truth most men don't want to hear. The moment you confess those weaknesses to a woman, you etch an image of helplessness in her mind. And once that image is there, it doesn't go away. You might think telling her, "I can't control myself when it comes to this," or "I always fail at that," will make her sympathize, maybe even bring you closer. But what it really does is strip away her respect. Because women don't want to see a man who is chained by his own habits. They want to see a man who breaks the chains. Attraction isn't built on perfection. It's built on direction. She doesn't expect you to be flawless, but she does expect you to be in control. When you admit that you're owned by an addiction or that you lack mastery over yourself, she no longer sees a leader. She sees a follower to his own impulses, and nothing kills attraction faster than that. Think about Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That truth still stands. If you can't command yourself, how can you command respect? Look at great leaders. Winston Churchill wrestled with what he called his black dog of depression, but he didn't broadcast that weakness to the public. He carried it in silence, he fought it in private, and to the world he showed only strength. That's why his people followed him through war. Men, understand this. Your weaknesses are not for her ears. They are for your discipline. Work on them, fight them, overcome them. But never dump them on her like she's your therapist. Because the moment you do, she stops looking up to you. She starts looking down. And once she sees you as beneath her strength, attraction fades. Keep your struggles private until they become scars of battles won. Show her the man who mastered himself, not the man still enslaved to his addictions. That's the difference between respect and rejection. Doubt is natural. Every man questions himself at times. Am I good enough? Am I on the right path? Do I have what it takes? But here's the brutal reality. The moment you speak that doubt to a woman, you fracture her trust in you. Because she doesn't separate your self-image from the image she has of you. If you doubt yourself, she begins to doubt you too. And once that seed of doubt is planted, it grows. You might think telling her, "I don't know if I can do this," will make her comfort you. Maybe she will in the moment. But over time, she'll remember those words. And the next time life tests both of you, she won't see certainty in your eyes. She'll see hesitation, and hesitation kills attraction. Think about a general leading his men into battle. Imagine if, before the fight, he said, "I'm not sure we can win." Do you think his soldiers would charge forward with conviction? Of course not. They'd hesitate, they'd falter, and the battle would be lost before it even began. The same principle applies in relationships. A woman wants to believe in her man. She wants to feel his certainty, even when he's still figuring things out behind the scenes. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action." What stands in the way becomes the way. He knew doubt wasn't meant to be confessed. It was meant to be transformed into fuel. That's what strong men do. They turn uncertainty into momentum. They don't spill it into the ears of the women they want to admire them. So when doubt hits you, don't hand it to her. Don't weaken the image she has of you. Face it in silence. Conquer it privately. And when you stand in front of her, show resolve. Because here's the paradox. Confidence in uncertainty is more attractive than verbalizing insecurity. You don't have to know every answer. You don't have to be invincible. But you must project belief in yourself. Because if you don't believe in you, why should she? Guard your doubts. Let her see your determination, not your hesitation. That's how you lead. That's how you inspire respect. And that's how you keep attraction alive. Every man has a past. Maybe you grew up with chaos. Maybe your parents failed you. Maybe your family still drags you into drama. But here's the reality. The more you spill that dysfunction to a woman, the more she sees you as unstable, burdened, and tied to chaos you haven't escaped. You might think opening up about your broken home, toxic relatives, or childhood struggles makes you relatable. You might believe it shows her where you've come from and why you're strong now. But to her psychology, it signals something darker. It suggests that the instability isn't fully behind you, that it might spill into her life too. And that thought doesn't spark attraction. it sparks hesitation. Think about it. If you tell her, "My family is always in conflict," or "I was raised in dysfunction," she doesn't just hear your story. She starts picturing arguments, toxic dynamics, and endless problems becoming part of her future if she chooses you. Attraction dies when she feels like she's stepping into a storm. Great men rise above where they came from. They don't deny their past, but they don't wear it like a badge either. They focus on the man they've built, the stability they've created, and the future they're leading toward. That's what inspires confidence. So when the subject of family comes up, don't turn it into a therapy session. Don't overshare every detail of your relative's dysfunction. Keep the focus on your present, not your past. You can acknowledge challenges without letting them define you. A simple, "I had to grow up fast, but it made me who I am today," shows strength without dragging her into the chaos. Remember, she wants to know the man she's with now, not the drama you escaped. She's evaluating whether you bring stability or stress. And the moment you paint yourself as a victim of family dysfunction, you plant doubt about whether you'll ever truly escape it. Guard that truth. Show her the man you've built, not the storm you came from. That's how you win respect. This mistake is subtle but deadly. Too many men sabotage attraction not with what they've done, but with what they predict. They say things like, "I don't think I can make it," or "I'll probably fail." And in that moment, they kill her belief in them. Because women don't just hear your words, they feel the energy behind them. When you speak doubt about the future, you poison her confidence in your path. And once she doubts your future, she doubts being part of it. Think about it. Who inspires more loyalty? The man who says, "I'm going to build something great, watch me," even if he stumbles along the way, or the man who says, "I'm not sure I'll ever get there"? The answer is obvious. People rally behind vision. They abandon weakness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Obstacles aren't meant to be predictions of failure. They're meant to be fuel for action. Leaders understand this. They don't confess failure before it happens. They speak resilience, they project certainty, and they let their actions prove them right. A woman doesn't need you to have all the answers. She doesn't even need you to succeed every time. But she does need to feel that you believe in yourself, that your words paint a picture of direction, not defeat. So guard your mouth. Never hand her a prophecy of failure. Instead, speak vision. Say, "I've got challenges, but I'll figure it out." Or, "I don't know how yet, but I'll find a way." That kind of language keeps attraction alive because it shows strength in the face of uncertainty. Men, remember this. Failure doesn't destroy attraction. Doubt does. Keep your setbacks private until they're victories. And when you speak of the future, let her feel your resilience. That's what makes her want to follow you, not fear losing you. If there's one thing you must never confess, it's how other women rejected you. Because the moment you share that, you shatter the image of yourself as the prize. Attraction thrives on status, on the belief that you are wanted, that you are valued. But when you say, "Women never chose me," or "I've been turned down so many times," you're not being relatable. You're branding yourself as unwanted. And no woman stays attracted to a man she believes others didn't value. Think about it. If every other woman passed on you, why should she be different? That thought will creep into her mind, whether she admits it or not. And once it's there, it eats away at her respect. You might think you're being honest, maybe even funny, when you tell those stories. But in her psychology, rejection is not a badge of honor. It's a sign that you're not the prize. Men who are respected, men who are chaste, don't brag about rejection. They don't frame themselves as the struggler. They carry themselves as if they've always been the choice. Even if they weren't, they never let that image crack. So stop talking about the women who said no. Stop turning your past losses into stories for her sympathy. She doesn't want your sympathy. She wants your strength. Frame yourself as the man who is chosen now, the man who learned from the past, who grew, who became the standard. Because once you hand her the image of rejection, she'll never see you the same again. Attraction is fragile. Protect it by protecting your frame. Never let her see you as the struggler. Always let her feel you as the prize. So let's make this clear. It's not about lying. It's about protecting your power, your mystery, and your frame. Too many men destroy attraction by oversharing, by confessing what should stay private, by turning themselves into projects instead of prizes. Women don't respect men who hand over every insecurity, every fear, every failure. They respect men who carry their battles in silence and show only their strength. That's the truth of attraction. That's the truth of respect. So ask yourself, are you protecting your power, or are you giving it away one confession at a time? Guard these 10 secrets like your life depends on it, because your respect and your attraction do. This video was great, but this video on the right-hand side is even more helpful.